The Skylar Neese case is a chilling and tragic tale that captivated national attention. This report delves into the details of the case, exploring the events leading up to Skylar Neese's disappearance, the investigation that followed, the shocking revelations that emerged, and the impact the case had on both the local community and the broader conversation surrounding online interactions and adolescent psychology. The Skylar Neese case emerged as a haunting story that raised questions about friendship, trust, and the digital age's impact on young lives. Skylar Neese, a 16-year-old from Star City, West Virginia, went missing in July 2012, sparking an intense investigation and eventual uncovering of a deeply disturbing truth. Background: Skylar Neese and her disappearance. Skylar Neese was a vibrant and ambitious teenager, well-liked by her peers. On the night of July 6, 2012, Skylar left her home without her parents' knowledge, leaving behind a trail of confusion and unanswered questions. Friends and family grew increasingly worried as Skylar's absence extended into the following days. Skylar Neese had two best friends, Shalia Eddy and Rachel Schoaf. However, it wasn't always the three of them. Skylar met Eddy when they were in elementary school, and Schoaf joined them during their freshman year in high school. The trio's friendship began in their early years, marked by shared interests, sleepovers, and laughter. Their bond was strengthened by common experiences, such as navigating the challenges of adolescence and forming their identities. Skylar Neese was described as an intelligent and outgoing young woman with a passion for art and writing. Her charisma and warmth drew people to her, and she served as the emotional center of the friendship. Skylar's openness and desire to maintain close connections made her vulnerable. Things became clearer that Neese, Eddy, and Schoaf had underlying tensions with each other. Skylar Neese tweeted things like this May 31st, 2012 post, "You're a two-faced bitch and obviously fucking stupid if you thought I wouldn't find out." Another tweet from that spring said, "Too bad my friends are having lives without me." It appeared to Neese as though Shalia Eddy and Rachel Schoaf were becoming closer friends without her. Shalia and Skylar were fighting a lot, Daniel Hovatter, a classmate at UHS, reported. "One time sophomore year, me and Rachel were at practice for Pride and Prejudice, and Rachel had her phone up to her ear and she was laughing. She was like, 'Listen to this.' Shelia and Skylar were fighting, but Skylar didn't know Shelia had put her on three-way calling, and Rachel was listening in. Sheila Eddy was known for her charisma and charm, but underneath the surface lay a cunning and manipulative nature. Sheila's ability to maintain a facade of friendship while engaging in deceitful actions would prove pivotal in the tragic events that unfolded. Unbeknownst to Skylar, Rachel and Sheila had been concealing a secret that would eventually lead to tragedy. They were involved in a romantic relationship, a fact they kept hidden from Skylar and the rest of their social circle. This secret marked the beginning of a web of lies that would have devastating consequences. On July 6, 2012, Skylar Neese snuck out of her bedroom window security camera footage from Neese's family apartment in the early morning of July 6th shows Skylar getting into a nondescript sedan. The following morning, Neese did not report for work, a first for the responsible teen. The Neeses knew their daughter didn't run away because her cell phone charger, toothbrush, and toiletries were still in her room. They reported their daughter missing. Law enforcement agencies initiated a comprehensive investigation, employing various techniques such as digital forensics, interviews, and analysis of surveillance footage. Friends and acquaintances, particularly Rachel Schoaf and Shalia Eddy, came under scrutiny as potential witnesses. Later that day, Shalia Eddy called the Neeses. She proceeded to tell me that her, Skylar, and Rachel had snuck out the night before, and that they had driven around Star City, were getting high, and that the two girls had dropped her back off at the house, Mary Neese recalled. The story was, they had dropped her off at the end of the road because she didn't want to wake us up sneaking back in. As the investigation progressed, startling revelations emerged. It was discovered that Skylar Neese's two best friends, Rachel Schoaf and Shalia Eddy, were not only involved in her disappearance. Shelia Eddy claimed that she and Rachel Schoaf picked up Skylar Neese at 11 p.m. and dropped her back off before midnight. But the surveillance video said otherwise. The grainy footage showed Neese leaving her apartment at 12:30 a.m., the car pulling away at 12:35 a.m., and then never seen again. But with no legitimate cause to make an arrest yet, the police had to keep investigating, and the Neeses had to endure an agonizing wait before the truth about their daughter would come out. Meanwhile, Shelia Eddy and Rachel Schoaf began hearing things on social media that made them nervous. Some people on Twitter outright accused them of having committed the murder and told them that it was only a matter of time before they would be caught. Surveillance footage from nearby businesses of that July night. They found the same car that picked up Skylar Neese near a convenience store in Blackstone, West Virginia, west of Star City and Morgantown. However, both Eddy and Schoaf had said they went east on the night of Neese's disappearance. The girls were caught in another lie. On December 28, 2012, a frantic parent called 911 in Monongalia County. "I have an issue with a 16-year-old daughter of mine. I can't control her anymore. She's hitting us, she's screaming, she's running through the neighborhood." The caller was Patricia Schoaf, Rachel's mother. In the background, Rachel Schoaf could be heard crying uncontrollably. "Give me the phone. No, this is over. And then to the dispatcher, Patricia Schoaf said, "My husband's trying to contain her. Please hurry."
"I have an issue with a 16-year-old daughter of mine. I can't control her anymore. She's screaming. She's running through the neighborhood. Give me the phone." "No, this is over. This is over. Hurry up." "Oh, God. She just gave me a block. Oh, God. Hurry up, please."
Rachel Schoaf was primed to confess, and authorities picked her up. Soon, she told them the horrifying truth about Skylar Neese's murder. "We stabbed her," Schoaf blurted out. The grim truth about the case of Skylar Neese: she and Eddy had planned the murder of Skylar Neese a month in advance. One day they were in science class and they agreed that maybe they should kill her. On July 6, 2012, Skylar Neese snuck out of her bedroom window to meet up with who she thought were two of her best friends. Little did Neese know that her two friends, Shelia Eddy and Rachel Schoaf, were planning to murder her that night. Eddy and Schoaf had lured Neese out of her home under the guise of smoking marijuana together. They had brought along knives that they hid in their hoodies as part of their plan to murder her. They also brought along paper towels, cleaning cloths, bleach, a shovel, and clean clothes to change into after the murder. The two took Neese to a wooded area just across the Pennsylvania state border. The three had smoked marijuana there before. Once the three were out of the car, Eddy and Schoaf said they'd forgotten a lighter. When Neese turned to go back to the car to get a lighter, Eddy and Schoaf counted to 3 and then started stabbing Neese in the back. Neese tried to fight back and run, but she was only able to make it a few feet before the two killers overcame her. Still trying to fight back, Neese managed to get Schoaf's knife at one point and cut her ankle in an attempt to defend herself, but Eddy kept stabbing her. In her dying breaths after being stabbed, Skylar Neese said, "Why?" Authorities later asked Rachel Schoaf the same question, to which she simply said, "We didn't like her." Once it seemed she was dead, Eddy and Schoaf planned to bury her, but the ground was too hard and rocky. So instead, they just placed her body only a few steps from the road and covered her with branches, dirt, and rocks. Prior to Schoaf's confession and before the truth about Neese's disappearance was revealed, Eddy remained active on Twitter, posting regularly about her thoughts and day-to-day activities as authorities searched for her missing friend. In hindsight of Neese's murder, several tweets from Eddy seemed disturbing. On January 3, 2013, Schoaf confessed to stabbing Neese to death with Eddy and told authorities where they had left her body. Meanwhile, Eddy kept up appearances that everything was normal, tweeting about watching her favorite TV shows. Staying home on a Tuesday is the best cause Law & Order SVU is on all day. On the morning of March 13, 2013, the U.S. Attorney's Office publicly announced that the human remains found in the wooded area in Brave, Pennsylvania, belonged to Skylar Neese, Eddie, still keeping up appearances, pretended to be devastated over the news that her friend had been found dead, tweeting, "Rest easy, Skylar, you'll always be my best friend," with a photo montage of her and Neese together, and the words, "worst day of my whole life." On March 30th, 2013, Eddie tweeted, "We really did go on 3. Referring to the moment they were in the woods, Shoaf said the plan was to count to 3, then stab Neese to death. Investigators matched blood samples in Shalia Eddie's trunk to Neese's DNA, and she was arrested on May 1st, 2013, in the parking lot of a Cracker Barrel restaurant. She was charged with first-degree murder, and she pled guilty in January 2014. She received a life sentence with the possibility of parole after 15 years. Rachel Shoaf, guilty of second-degree murder, received a 30-year sentence.
Sheila Eddy, how do you plead to the offense of murder in the first degree of the felony charged in count 3 of the indictment in this case?
Guilty.
The record will reflect that the defendant has entered a plea of guilty to the offense of murder in the first degree of the felony charged in count 3 of the indictment in this case. You may be seated. Watch the chair, please. Well, what would the state have expected to prove in this case if it had gone to trial?
Your Honor, on the night of July 5th and 6th, 2012, Skylar Neese disappeared and was never seen alive again. At a trial, the state's evidence would prove that Skylar's disappearance and death were the result of a conspiracy between Sheila Eddy and Rachel Shoaf to rid themselves of their friend Skylar by killing her. They achieved their goal by planning to pick up Skylar from her residence after her evening of work had been completed. They planned to drive around, socialize some, and then stop at a location to smoke dope. Their scheme was to hide knives on their bodies and to attack Skylar at an agreed-upon moment. They even prepared by bringing a shovel with them to bury Skylar's body. Sheila Eddy and Rachel Shoaf carried out that plan. Together they stabbed and killed Skylar and left her body to nature.
Skylar's aunt and Mary Neese's sister. And you know what, I don't know what in the world would ever make somebody feel the need to have to kill someone in this world over anything. Nothing could be that tragedy that you couldn't work out without having to kill them. She's taken the hopes and dreams from my sister, from the prom to graduation to being a grandmother and planning a wedding. She'll never have any of this. And she's tore so many families apart that everything she gets coming to her, I feel is due to her. She came and she acted as if she knew nothing. She pretended like she was her friend and stayed and comforted us and swore she had no idea what was going on, and the whole time she knew. And to sit there and look at us and tell us she knew nothing, and now come to this day and she admits that she did, just shows how evil she can be. Thank you.
My name is David Neese. I'm Skylar's father. I'm here today with my wife, Mary. I'm speaking to you on behalf of my daughter because she can't be here. On July 6th, she made a decision to leave our house and go through a window and supposedly go with 2 friends, and I use that term. I'm sure you know what I mean. When we learned that she was missing, we immediately went to the Star City Police, who couldn't do anything with us, so they just listed her as a runaway. Since that date, my wife's life has drastically altered. We are no longer a family. The person sitting before you, Skylar's so-called friend, took her away from us without any remorse or feelings. You can look into the eyes of those who are responsible, but you can never hear what they heard as they were taking her life. can see the faces of the killer, but you can't see Skylar's face. You can never understand the fear that she must have had as they took a knife and ended her life. You cannot imagine the pain that Skylar must have felt and the pain that Mary and I now feel. Your Honor, Skylar deserves to be heard today.
Ms. Eddy, would you please stand? Sheila Eddy, for your conviction of the offense of murder in the first degree upon your plea of guilty, it is the sentence of the court that you be imprisoned in the West Virginia State Penitentiary for the rest of your natural life, consistent with the requirements of the Constitution of the United States. That sentence is technically with mercy, which makes you eligible for parole after you have served 15 years.
You may speak at this time. You can remain seated if you want. Well, I guess you're not on a rolling chair, so I'd say fine.
I'm so sorry. I don't know if there's a proper way to make this apology, because there are not even words to describe the guilt and remorse that I feel each day for what I've done. The person that did that was not the real me, not the person I am, not what I'm made of, and not what I believe in. I don't think I ever thought that this would actually happen. I became scared and caught up in something that I did not want to do. I never realized the gravity of my actions and how many people I've hurt. I hurt the Neese family and those who love Skylar. I hurt my parents and shamed my family. I hurt my extended family and all of my friends who loved me. I hurt my teachers and those who believed in me. I hurt my church family, my community, and those who trusted me. And I hurt my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. May God bring eternal peace to Skylar and the entire Neese family. Again, I'm so sorry, and I pray each day for everyone involved, and I pray each day for forgiveness.
Yes, sir.
Well, Your Honor, there's nothing that I can say here today that would take away the pain and the heartache that the Neese family has and will endure. I further wish in no way to offend the Neese family by my statements here today, nor will I attempt to excuse or minimize the actions of Rachel Schoaf that took the life of Skylar Neese. The one thing I can say to this court and to the community, as Rachel has accepted full and complete responsibility for her actions and expressed sincere remorse for what she has done.
Yes, Rachel Schoaf did tell us where Skylar was. Yes, Rachel Schoaf did cooperate. And Rachel Schoaf also murdered my daughter in cold blood. Skylar would not be where she was if it wasn't for Rachel Schoaf. You said yourself, Your Honor, this is first-degree murder. She should not give any leniency, and she can take her apologies and everything else and sit on them because that's about what they're worth to me and my wife. She has done nothing but make our lives a living hell since this day one. She did cooperate in the end because she knew that it was closing in on her, and yes, she would be caught. That's the only reason she feels remorse. Your Honor, I ask you to give her 40 years and plus if you can. Thank you, sir.
Media coverage and public response. The Skylar Neese case garnered significant media attention, raising ethical questions about the coverage of juvenile cases. The line between raising awareness and sensationalism became blurred as news outlets navigated the delicate balance of reporting facts while respecting the sensitivity of the situation. Aftermath and legacy. In response to the Skylar Neese case, West Virginia enacted Skylar's Law, which revised regulations related to the Amber Alert system and established guidelines for missing children cases. Skylar's memory endures through this legislative change, serving as a reminder of the need for improved protocols in handling similar situations. Conclusion. The Skylar Neese case remains a haunting reminder of the complexities of human behavior and the devastating consequences of betrayal and violence among friends.